What's up everybody, Coach John here. I lost 200 pounds and now I'm here to help other people achieve all their weight loss goals as well. In our last video, we talked about how to establish your maintenance calories, how to figure it out, not from some calculator, some random advice on the internet, but using your own habitual eating. And if you haven't seen that video, I advise you go find it. I'll link it in the description below. So once we have that number, it's super powerful because now we know the line. Right? If we go above this, we're gonna gain weight. And if we go below it in calorie intake, we're gonna lose weight. So if we wanna lose weight, we drop the calories. Now there are a number of elegant and graceful ways to do this with a lot less effort. However, most people, they need a base of understanding. They need to know, okay, how many calories? How much food are we talking about? So today I'm just gonna talk about it in terms of calories. And for those of you who love to count calories and you're more digital in your thinking, this is right up your alley as well. So it's true, the more calories you cut out of your diet, the more calories you cut away from your maintenance calories, the more weight you will lose. So simple enough, right? Not so fast. A lot of people make the mistake of realizing this and feeling empowered by it, and then going as hard as they possibly can. But there are a number of problems with this. First off, as hard as you possibly can for how long? Self-restraint is a finite resource. You can build it up over time, right? Just like you can build up a muscle in the gym. But if you go too heavy, especially when you're not used to working that muscle, it's gonna snap. A lot of people don't have the self-awareness to realize when they're asking too much of their self-restraint because they feel like, oh, if I'm a person of good moral fiber, I should just have this endless reservoir of restraint. But that's not the way it works. This has been proven time and again that we have a finite amount of self-restraint that we can expend through the day, saying no to a treat, or saying no to hunger, or saying no to the desire to sit down when you're tired. And this has obvious implications for staying on our diet and preventing the dreaded rebound. The other issue is that whenever you put your body into a severe calorie deficit, stress is going to accumulate. This is systemic stress, a physiological stress of the adjustment process wherein your body says, hey, we need to remove mass from our frame. But also this can be emotional or psychological stress, and one can bleed into the other very easily. For people who have weight issues, there are often untreated emotional and psychological wounds that simply restricting calories might inflame, especially when done to extremes. So with our willpower dwindling by the day and with the emotional, physiological, psychological stress accumulating by the day, we are putting more and more and more load on a system that is not very strong right now. And when it breaks, it has nothing to do with your character or your prospects for a healthy future. But boy, do we often tumble off into catastrophic thinking when these things happen. And I understand, I've been there. And we know that when the dreaded rebound hits, people usually put on more weight than they lost. And I want to help you avoid that at all costs. Another issue with caloric restriction is the deeper you go, the more likely your body is to say, okay, I'll get rid of some mass, but I'm going to get rid of it from metabolically active tissue rather than metabolically inactive tissue. I'm going to take lean mass rather than fat stores. Why? Because lean mass costs me caloric expenditure every day. And if we're really in a desperate state, then I need to get rid of some bills. You ever lose a job or something and you're going through your monthly subscriptions, figuring out what you can get rid of, right? Your body's going to be like, Hulu, I don't even watch Hulu. Get it out of here. And it will take muscle off of your frame and other lean tissues that you need to support a healthy and active lifestyle, especially when dealing with new situations where you might be working out more and your body's not used to it, dieting, etc., etc. And sadly, the more fat you're carrying on your frame, your body can actually be more likely to harvest calories from lean mass than fat mass. This depends on people's genetics, but it can happen, and it's really sad to see people who are 50% body fat, severely obese, go on a diet and end up robbing themselves of the lean tissues they need to perform well as the healthier, more athletic version of themselves they're trying to be. So to recap, more is not always better, especially when it comes to caloric restrictions. The prices we pay for deep caloric restriction have time and time again proven to be more detrimental than the benefits we get out of the severe caloric restriction. And this is a big reason why putting timetables on your weight loss is just death. Saying I need to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year, or I need to lose X, Y, and Z. These can be very motivating. These can be a kick in the pants to get you started, but it's a deal with the devil, in my opinion. I just don't think it's worth it. If you want to lose X amount of pounds by a certain day, ask yourself why. And you might find that there's deeper reasons, more intrinsic reasons. Well, I want to feel good. I want to be my best self. I want to run. I want to play with my kids more, my grandkids. Connect to those reasons and let some of the timetables go, because ultimately you're not here to serve the calendar. You're here to serve yourself. And there is a way to lose massive amounts of weight that adds to your life rather than just leaves you on this endless yo-yo up and down roller coaster cycle, and potentially worse off than you are right now. So what's the solution? I think it's to think less about the most you can do, the most you can get away with, the hardest you can push your body, and start thinking about the least effort you can put in to get forward movement. I feel confident in this because you see it everywhere. When you go to the doctor and they say, hey, you got a blood pressure issue, I'm gonna put you on a blood pressure medication. Do they give you 500 milligrams right out of the gate? No, they give you like a little tiny half pill. Here's 10 milligrams, right? Here's 20 milligrams, here's 25 milligrams. Same if you're going on an antidepressant or an anxiety medication. They start small, and then the doctor slowly works up the dose until they're seeing the results in the patient that they wanna see. Because they know that every intervention can come with side effects. And this can vary from person to person, right? So for instance, if you're decreasing calories and you're increasing the deficit or decreasing your intake, and you start to notice side effects, you start to notice that the stress levels are going up too high, you may be losing a little bit more weight, but you're less happy and you're like, this doesn't end well. You can back off and try a different approach. There's more than one way to remove calories from your diet or to increase the calories you're burning in a day. And I have lots of ideas for you on how to do that. But for right now, I just want to instill in you this idea. Do the least amount necessary to get any result, right? Just move the ball forward. We want you expending very little effort compared to what you're getting in return. So when you have your maintenance number, I advise against slashing out an arbitrary number of calories because of something you heard or because of something somebody told you, unless that person is a nutritionist or your personal trainer. Always listen to your doctor. But if you're watching your doctor on TV, that's not your doctor. That's just a person who gets paid to spew a bunch of BS. I'm not gonna name names. But you can and you should manage your caloric deficit according to your needs, your desires, your innate sense of what you can handle and what you can acclimatize to in this moment. Because you can always adjust and say, hey, I'm in a 300 calorie deficit, and it was a little weird for a few days, but now I'm a week or two into it and I feel fine. It's like nothing. I feel better. So then going to 450 isn't that big of a deal. You can always take the next little stair step, the next baby step, as long as you keep checking in with yourself and keep your focus on sustainability and just losing the next pound, rather than arbitrary ideas of how much you should be losing by what date. This is gonna keep you in the fight for months to come. And whether you have 20 pounds to lose or 200 pounds to lose, it's all relative, right? When you set out on this journey, it's hard to do it with a lot of confidence. However, you can have confidence in the minimum effective dose. Never putting yourself way out on a limb where you're risking catastrophic diet failure and rebound, and allowing yourself the ultimate shortcut that patience provides. We can always dial things up in a number of ways, not just restricting calories and deleting numbers off of your daily allowance of calories. There's so much more that can go into it. And there's different ways to approach it. If you've habitually been the kind of person that gets very digital because it gives you a sense of control, I have other ways for you to naturally let go of calories rather than chopping them away. And we can talk about these strategies in other videos and ways to use activity in effortless ways to boost your daily caloric expenditure. I'm gonna tell you this a million times, but weight loss is easy when we let it be. I hope this information was helpful. Best of luck as you craft your diet plan moving forward. There's a lot of temptation to go balls to the wall out of the gate, but you're gonna be thankful if you do this right. And that means let it take however long it takes. If you have questions, please ask them below. I'll either answer them in the comments or I'll use your question as the topic of my next video. And if you'd like more community support, you can go to my Facebook group, Lose Weight with John. And if you're already on the Facebook group and seeing this, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see all the videos when they update there. All right, best of luck everybody. See you in the next video.